So again, we take our fat stacks, our 100K, mix it into the cash business with the legitimate proceeds, then deposit into the bank as profit essentially. And then once we're done paying taxes, if we want to get it out personally and go spend it on our whip, we're only going to end up with $50,000 of usable money. The rest has gone to the government in different taxes. And Lambos cost a lot more than 50 grand, guys. Welcome to Nerdsplaining episode 2, where we're discussing the story of OJ, and particularly JayZ's advice to launder your money through real estate investing. And particularly, we're going to look at it through the lens of flipping real estate properties and why that would be attractive to people that have illicit gains from illegal activities and why they'd want to launder their money through real estate versus other all-cash businesses. So again, before we dive into this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to launder money. This is all just done for an interesting intellectual discussion. I'm really just hoping that somehow this creates some clickbait and you guys will share my videos more often. But let's dive into it and look at JayZ's advice.
Take your drug money and buy the neighborhood. That's how you rinse it.
So if you're brand new to laundering money, I'll forgive you for not knowing this, but let's say you got your fat stacks now from flipping dime bags and you want to go deposit it into the bank. This is a bank. I didn't know really how to draw a bank, so I just tried to copy the basic bank emoji. But we got our fat stacks, we want to put it into the bank. The problem is that both the IRS, CRA, and other government institutions have reporting regulations for financial institutions. So what ends up happening is the bank, if you deposit significant amount of money, if you deposit significant amounts of cash, let's say, and particularly, there's often thresholds of, say, a $10,000 limit where they have to report it to the government. And so what happens is when you deposit this money directly into the bank, it gets reported to the CRA or the IRS, and you get yourself in a heap of trouble, and you're going to find yourself knee deep in auditors. The CRA or the IRS, they got more juice than you, so you can't even lean on these snitch bitches at the bank in order to get them to overlook their reporting mechanism. You just don't got the juice. So how can you get this cash into the bank without going to jail? So if you've been paying attention at all to TV shows like Breaking Bad, Ozarks, or The Accountant, you know that what ends up happening is a lot of money launderers, they'll acquire some sort of all-cash business or a business that's oriented towards cash. They'll then take their fat stacks, put them into the cash business, and that cash business then is able to deposit into the bank because it looks like legitimate proceeds. And so again, the cash businesses that money launderers often like, and particularly in TV shows and movies, are things like laundromats, car washes, convenience stores, and vending machines. A lot of those different industries, there's not a lot of receipts given to customers. You have a high volume of customers that are low transaction volume, so it's very difficult for a third party to verify or source out a lot of the transactions. So that's why it's very attractive to money launderers. Thing is though, what a lot of people don't like about these cash businesses is, in order to actually get the money out of the business legitimately, they have to show that those businesses are earning a profit. So let's say you acquired a break-even cash business. So this business by itself earns $0 a year and neither makes nor loses money. Now, let's say you have $100,000 in your fat stack and you want to put it into the business. You now deposit that into the business, but the thing is the business now shows a profit of $100,000. So that's going to be taxed at the corporate rate. And then in order for you to withdraw it and use those funds personally to say buy your Lambo or whatever fancy whip you want, the issue is you're going to pay taxes on that. And then like in a jurisdiction like Ontario, Canada, you're going to end up paying almost 50% total to the government. So that $100,000, we're going to end up paying 50% of it to the government. So even though we made $100,000 flipping dime bags, we're only going to see $50,000 of the net proceeds that we can then go spend on our Lambo. And Lambos cost a lot more than 50 grand, guys. So that's the major downside to laundering your money through an all-cash business, is that you still end up having to pay taxes. Now, inherently, that's the whole goal, is we're trying to make it look like legitimate proceeds. So we need to still somehow take our legal cash money and mix it with legitimate proceeds from some sort of financial endeavor. And that's where real estate to me becomes a really interesting mechanism. So again, we take our fat stacks, our 100K, mix it into the cash business with the legitimate proceeds, then deposit into the bank as profit essentially. And then once we're done paying taxes, if we want to get it out personally and go spend it on our whip, we're only going to end up with $50,000 of usable money. The rest has gone to the government in different taxes. What's the alternative? Why is real estate very attractive to money launderers, and why does JayZ necessarily recommend it in his song? So again, if we start flipping real estate, instead we put our 100K into the real estate, and then we're able to sell the property and flip it. What's interesting is there's different mechanisms that can result in more favorable tax consequences. So in Canada, for example, if you were flipping the property personally, you would know that capital gains on your personal residence, it's zero. So essentially, we'd be able to keep our total $100,000. Now again, this is way oversimplification. I'm not actually trying to teach you how to launder money, so I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty details on how you'd execute on these strategies. But just understand that that would be an option. Alternatively, if you're in the US and you were looking at really growing your wealth exponentially, you could use a 1031 exchange. And again, click that I over there and you can watch my video on the 1031 exchange. But you could use that to recycle the money over and over again and keep deferring the tax consequences essentially indefinitely until you die. And so what's powerful about that is, again, whereas with the business option, we're only able to keep like half of our money at the end of the day. With the real estate option, through flipping it, and if we're doing it strategically, we can actually keep almost all of our proceeds from the government taken away from us. I'm sure you guys realize $100,000 is a lot more than $50,000. It's literally double. So that's what's so attractive to money launderers in general. Why people would want to launder money through real estate rather than all cash businesses. Now, that being said, we don't actually have to be illegal drug sellers or have money from illicit gains for this to be attractive. The same thing actually holds true if we're just looking to grow our wealth as law-abiding citizens. Ha! You didn't see it coming. I snuck in a real-life lesson when you thought you were just watching Mental Floss. So, the things that make flipping real estate attractive to money launderers is the same thing that makes flipping real estate attractive to, say, high-income earners. So high-income individuals are attracted to ideas like flipping real estate, again, because they can either defer or avoid the taxes completely. So what do you guys think? Do you enjoy these Nerdsplaining videos where I break out pop cultural references to personal finances and explain the logic behind them? Or is this a giant waste of time? I'd love to know, so jump in the comment section and let me know. And if you are enjoying this video series, jump in the comment section and let me know, what should I nerdsplain next? Should it be a TV show, a movie, a book, another rap song? There's all kinds of interesting rap content. And actually, the more I dove into JayZ's The Story of OJ, I realized that I think I'm gonna have like a 6-part video series just on this subject matter alone, because there's a ton of very interesting financial advice in this one JayZ song.
I bought every V12 engine. Wish I could take it back to the beginning.
So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and until next time, why not binge some of my other videos? And remember, making money is a team sport. There's more than enough money out there for us to all make it, but if you're not saving it, I mean, like, what's the point? Thanks, guys. Bye.